Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
Good evening. Thanks for choosing Big Fox News. I'm Nick Smith. We begin tonight in Corning. The pandemic has changed many things, including the way we gather to worship on Christmas Eve. Matt Klein spoke with a local pastor to find out how his church is accommodating for COVID protocols in tonight's top story.
Good evening. With Christmas Eve services just wrapping up at First Presbyterian Church, churchgoers were given multiple ways to worship this evening. In a year unlike any other, staff members at First Presbyterian worked to ensure families could still celebrate Christmas with the church.
We think that we've come up with a way of honoring God in this holiday that will still be enjoyable and safe for everyone who comes.
Although services on Christmas Eve were cut down from 2 to 1, congregants were still given the option to worship in the sanctuary while maintaining social distancing. Those who were unable to attend also had the option to watch the service on Facebook.
We call it worship without walls. We want people to be able to participate in worship equally, whether they are physically present or present online.
Despite having to adjust to meet COVID guidelines, Pastor Ugaritz hopes that community members are still able to find ways to celebrate the birth of Christ.
Our reason for joy is the same this year in a year of pandemic as it was last year and in the years before. So I hope people will still be able to connect with the source of our joy and our peace.
Reporting from Corning, Matt Kleindens, Big Fox, WYDC.
The ASPCA is reminding families to keep an eye out for their pets' safety during the holidays. Families are asked to anchor down Christmas trees to prevent falling on your pets and to not have holly or mistletoe in the house to prevent pets from getting sick. Pets should not be left unattended near candles to avoid burns. Finally, owners should not give sweets like chocolate to their pets. Instead, give them treats made for them. A New York community is remembering a soldier found dead over the weekend. A vigil was held in honor of Corporal Hayden Harris in Watertown Wednesday night. Several of Harris's comrades attended the tribute at the 10th Mountain Division Monument in Thompson Park. They shared their memories of the 20-year-old Fort Drum soldier. Harris went missing for days before his body was discovered buried in snow over the weekend. Authorities say another soldier, 23-year-old Jamal Mellish, will be charged in Harris's death. According to police, Harris met with Mellish for a car exchange before he went missing. Mellish is currently in custody in New Jersey. The owner of the Buffalo Bills is considering testing ticket holders for COVID-19 ahead of the team's playoff game in January. Allie Tui has the story.
I hope so.
Brighton Eggert Pharmacy owner Don Arthur wants to see Bills fans in the stands for the team's playoff game in January. So he's proposing to test ticket holders for COVID-19 ahead of the game. Similar to his operation in the town of Tonawanda, he says he would set up a drive-through clinic in the stadium parking lot roughly 4 days prior to the game with the ability to test every ticket holder.
And the reason it would be over 4 days is capacity. We've tested 1,000 a day. I know what testing 3,000 to 4,000 a day would look like, and I can do that in that I've got a couple weeks to prepare for it.
I would be all in favor.
Last week, Governor Andrew Cuomo said he would support fans in the stands for a home playoff game this season if COVID-19 positivity and hospitalization rates for the Western New York region became low enough.
It's going to be a health decision, so it's going to be Dr. Zucker's health decision.
During a conference call over the weekend, State Health Commissioner Dr. Howard Zucker said tailgating is currently among the state's concerns.
And that's more of the challenge than even trying to make sure you get fans into a stadium appropriately. We have looked at other stadiums that are similar size and capacity.
Erie County Executive Mark Poloncarz says he isn't sure what metric Western New York would need to reach for the state to allow fans in the stands.
We really have to drop our rate. To what? I don't know. Am I expecting fans to be in the stands? Probably not. Am I hopeful? Yes.
I asked him about Arthur's testing proposal. Here's what he had to say.
There's only a certain number of tests that are being done on a weekly basis among the whole community. And I'm not going to waste thousands of tests so that people can go to a football game.
The decision to allow fans in the stands and whether COVID testing would be a requirement is up to the state. State reps didn't immediately return our request for comment.
Crowds have been much smaller at John F. Kennedy International Airport this week compared to previous holiday travel seasons. The CDC has urged Americans not to travel for the holidays, but some travelers didn't have any hesitation about getting on a plane. As travelers arrived from Florida and Colorado, enhanced cleaning was going on all around them.
Way less people than I'm used to, and went straight through security, easy.
I travel every single year. I come back home to see my family in New York, and this has been the easiest experience we've had so far. There's half the capacity, I think, on a plane or less.
AAA is predicting at least 34 million fewer travelers compared to last holiday season, but as many as 84.5 million may still travel from Wednesday through January 3rd, a decline of 29%. If Americans are expecting a direct check from the government next week, they may be in for a major disappointment. Ray Bogan has a look at what happened today in Washington.
Merry Christmas.
It was not a holly jolly morning on Capitol Hill. Instead, one marked by deadlock. Democrats asked for unanimous consent to give most Americans $2,000 checks.
Consistent with the request of the President of the United States,
Republicans requested approval to review how U.S. tax dollars are spent overseas.
Ask for its immediate consideration in the House.
They both failed.
So we do not have unanimous consent.
There isn't much time to try anything else, so Democrats are urging the president to sign the recently passed coronavirus relief package, even if it's not everything he wants. Government funding runs out Monday. Expanded unemployment benefits expire Saturday.
surely the President of the United States, whether he's in Mar-a-Lago or any place else, ought to empathize with the pain and suffering and apprehension and deep angst that the American people are feeling this Christmas Eve and sign this bill.
Some lawmakers admit the bill gives Americans reasons to be frustrated.
They were looking at the millions and millions and millions of dollars that we spend all over the world for God knows what. And then they looked at what they were getting, $600, and they didn't understand because they're the ones breaking their back.
Democrats will try to approve the relief checks again on Monday when the House tries to override the president's veto of the National Defense Authorization Act. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
Seems as though former Democratic presidential candidate Andrew Yang isn't giving up on his political aspirations. Yang has filed paperwork to run for mayor of New York City in 2021, looking to take on current Democratic mayor and fellow former presidential candidate Bill de Blasio. The 45-year-old businessman throwing his name in the ring just days after a new poll showed him with a slight lead among Democrats running for mayor in the city. Yang gained popularity during the Democratic primaries with his call for universal basic income, or $1,000 a month for every American over the age of 18. Luxury home sales are up, way up, surging almost 61% year over year during the 3 months ending November 30th. That nearly quadruples the pre-pandemic growth seen in the 3 months ending February 29th. Those numbers, according to a new report from real estate brokerage Redfin. As for mid-price home sales, they were only up 14.8%, and the sales increase in affordable homes was just 6.8%. Holiday sales are expected to be much higher this year compared to last year, and if you're still looking for a great gift idea, one expert says a subscription may be the way to go. Jeremy Roth has a closer look.
Need a last-minute holiday gift? Subscription-based gifts may be a good fix for anyone on your list.
Everything from wine of the month to coffee of the month to arts and crafts. So this is the year to really get invested in having that experience come to you versus the other way around.
Nationally syndicated Tech Life columnist Jennifer Jolly says consider wellness subscription boxes or healthcare services. Subscription-based telehealth platforms like OptHealth say they've seen a boost in clients during the pandemic.
Yeah, oftentimes they don't want to go to the doctor's office at all. So absolutely, we've seen an increase in people wanting to use our platform for that.
Online learning software is also an option, with so many virtual courses out there like Masterclass, Skillshare, and Adobe Tutorials.
They're really popular this year because a lot of people are stuck at home. They're either out of work or starting to think about how can I take my skills to that next level.
For that foodie on your list, consider meal subscriptions like Freshly, Home Chef, and HelloFresh. There's even one for kids.
There's a company called Little Spoon Plates, and it's a kids meal delivery. It lets you customize the menus and get your kids fed without forcing you basically to take out a second mortgage.
Also for kids, subscription-based toy services.
Toy Library has a deal for $12.50 per month for 2 toys of your child's choice. Green Pinata is a lot pricier at $25 per month, but your child gets up to 4 new toys per box.
For Consumer Watch, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Meteorologist Kim Walker has your complete holiday forecast right after this break.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Tonight's Big Fox forecast is brought to you by William Mattar. Good evening, everyone. We've had occasional heavy rain, and this activity will continue through tonight. And so our flood watch will be in effect until noon on Christmas Day. With the snow melt because of those warmer temperatures and additional precipitation, that will cause a lot of runoff. And so there could be swelling of creeks and rivers. And of course, there could be some ponding on the roadways as well. And so just keep that in mind if you are going to be traveling on Christmas Day or even tonight. We are expecting that low pressure system bringing the rain to move to the northeast. We are going to be on the backside of the system by tomorrow. And so that will pull much colder air in. We're talking about a blast of Arctic air. And so it's going to turn sharply colder. And we are expecting occasional snow showers for your Christmas. So here's a look at your planet temperatures. We'll start off in the 30s. It will feel like the 20s though, because those winds will start to pick up, making those temperatures feel a lot colder. It looks like we will be below freezing in the afternoon. So once again, in the morning, it is going to be a little bit warmer than in the afternoon behind the cold front that will be sweeping in. It's going to feel like the 20s just because of the winds just making it feel so much colder, evaporating any moisture that we have in our skin. And then by 7 o'clock, it looks like it will feel like the teens out there. Occasional snow showers through your Christmas, but I think it will be ending by the weekend. So here's a look at your future radar. Heavy rain still possible for the next hour or two. This actually will continue through about 1 o'clock in the morning. Notice some heavy rain possible from Schuyler County all the way to Steuben, and also in Chemung County we're going to pick up some heavy rain as well. But notice the purple that's showing up. That's the wintry mix that could be moving into Hornell at around 1 o'clock in the morning. And that will creep eastward, and so rain continuing in portions of Ithaca, Sayre, but then it looks like the purple and a fuchsia color, as you can see right there, that's showing up. That will be a wintry mix. Maybe a little bit drier conditions in Hornell and Bath at around 7 o'clock, and then snow starts to move in as those temperatures will be diving throughout the day. A few flurries could be possible near Bath at around lunchtime, and then more snow showers in the afternoon. And it looks like this activity could continue into the early morning hours on Saturday. So with all this snow, it looks like we could pick up about 1 to 2 inches across our area. So here's a look at our snowfall totals. Possibly about 2.5 inches on Hornell, about 1.5 inches near Corning, about 1 inch in Elmira, a little bit less. Down to our south, about 1.75 inches. So a little bit of snow to go around, so you may need to plow as we head into the weekend. We do have another round of snow coming our way early next week on Monday, and so it's not over with just yet. Temperatures tonight dropping down into the upper 30s, highs tomorrow in the upper 30s, so it doesn't really warm up on your Christmas Day. In fact, it's going to be a blustery day. Colder on Saturday with a high around 26, improving conditions on Monday with a high around 41.
The temptation of spending the holidays with family and friends is too strong for some people, despite dire warnings from health officials about another likely spike in COVID-19 deaths. John Lawrence has more.
Many Americans are hitting the road in the last weeks of 2020 despite spiking COVID-19 death tolls and dwindling ICU beds.
Well, my parents are aging, and so we
want to be with them for Christmas.
AAA projects about 85 million people in the U.S. may travel through January 3rd. That's down roughly 30% from last year, but health officials say the COVID-19 pandemic makes it risky for large groups to gather indoors and celebrate the season.
I'm afraid that if, in fact, we see this happen, we will have a surge that's superimposed upon the difficult situation we are already in.
The hospital systems are on the verge of collapse in terms of being able to provide care. And if we anticipate that Christmas is going to add to the potential surge of cases.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention's latest ensemble forecast projects the U.S. death toll from COVID-19 could reach as high as 419,000 by January 16th.
Right now, I have no fear at all. Because we're taking proper precautions.
Overall, I felt safe. I mean, if I didn't, I wouldn't go.
The CDC advises holiday travelers to get tested for COVID-19 3 to 5 days after their trips and to limit non-essential activities for a week.
Students in Santa Barbara, California want to get back to school soon. But in order to do that, the number of COVID-19 infections has to drop. So, students started a campaign called Don Your Mask to encourage everyone to follow health safety guidelines. Ryan Fish reports.
Stay at home as much as you can. Don your mask and wash your hands.
That's the message from the Santa Barbara Dons to their community and their classmates. The Don Your Mask campaign uses art to urge people to stay safe. Sophomore Hattie Ugoretz's original song won the campaign's video contest.
I thought that if it was in their heads, they would have to listen to what it was saying and really think about what they were doing and what they could be doing.
Students want to be back in these hallways, but no infections need to drop dramatically first.
I have an autoimmune disease, my mom just got over cancer, and my grandma has cancer.
I don't think I'm going to get prom. I would at least like a graduation.
Students hope posters can resonate with peers, some of whom have not embraced masks or distancing.
But I know people really like school spirit, so I think if wearing masks is a school spirit thing, then they're like, cool.
I feel like wearing a mask can even show your personality, your interests, and could be even a form of self-expression in a way.
It makes the message more personal when the people who you're friends with and your peers and your fellow students are the ones who are sharing the message.
Just listening to them and their perspective, and it's all different. And it just, again, emphasizes that our youth are sometimes just more intelligent than us.
Some nursing home residents in Providence, Rhode Island were losing heart this holiday season. So one manager decided to lift their spirits with a personal touch. Sam Reed has that story.
Along the fence and gates of Charles Gate Nursing Home in Providence, you'll be sure to find green garland.
I want to be Santa in my next life.
While putting up the decorations, a conversation with an administrator stuck with project manager Fran Davenport.
I asked her, how's everybody doing and how are the residents holding up? And she said to me that the residents were starting to lose hope.
Fran froze. It wasn't what she'd hoped to hear.
Immediately, of course, I was brought to tears and I said, oh my God, what the heck are we going to do for these people? We have got to do something.
So for the next month, with financial help from the owners, she went to work making handmade Christmas trees, one for every single resident living here.
I think there's 33 different styles, but there's 78 total trees.
She took into consideration personalities.
A lot of guys that like Patriots, so I kind of thought of that.
And religion.
We had 2 Hanukkah bushes for our 2 Hanukkah residents.
They were dropped off by a U-Haul for staff to distribute.
Hi, Susan. Just really grateful. A few cried. I mean, I hope I didn't want to do that to them, but they, I think they were pretty happy with what they got.
Happy is an understatement.
Oh, I love it. It's beautiful.
To top things off and lift the spirits of employees here, she and her husband gifted them personalized baskets.
They've been here every day since March, and they've done such a wonderful job, and it's kind of the least we could do.
Forget-Me-Not florists donated flowers to help Fran make sure everyone here isn't forgotten.
I feel like everyone, just one person at a time, could change the world.
Actor Tom Selleck left a $2,020 tip last month at a New York restaurant. Donnie Wahlberg, who plays Selleck's son on the TV drama Blue Bloods, paid tribute to the act of kindness on Twitter Wednesday. Wahlberg also shared a picture of the receipt with the amount and a picture of the handwritten note Selleck wrote to the restaurant staff. Selleck wrote in the note that he was honoring Wahlberg's tip challenge. The actor left his 2020 tip back in November, but kept it a secret for weeks. Santa Claus's magical powers are literally out of this world. He doesn't just drop off gifts to the world's children in one night, he even makes it into space. Santa finding time in his busy schedule to stop by the International Space Station. NORAD and Analytical Graphics Incorporated have released a video of jolly old St. Nick paying the astronauts a visit. Santa's flyby comes in time for Christmas during the station's 20th anniversary year of crewed missions. The FAA granted Santa and his reindeer-powered sleigh an official commercial space license for launches and landings. Some nursing home residents in Providence, Rhode Island were losing heart this holiday season, so one manager decided to lift their spirits with a personal touch. Sam Reed has that story.
It's been a dream come true.
17-year-old Selena Cartier always knew she picked up things faster than other kids. Now she's adding college graduate to the list.
I recently received my Bachelor's of Science in Psychology from the University of Houston, and I minored in Human Development and Consumer Sciences. I also received a Certificate of Corporate Entrepreneurship from here as well.
She was reading by 2, then doing complicated math at 4. At the age of 7, Selena was in the 8th grade. At 14, she started taking dual college courses. One key to her success, she says, homeschool.
The homeschooling undoubtedly gave me the platform and gave me the opportunity to grow and accelerate at my own rate.
Selena says women like Vice President-elect Kamala Harris serve as an inspiration.
Her entire political career has showed me that anything is possible and that women belong in all spaces.
One reason for choosing U of H, the influence of Houston Mayor Sylvester Turner.
Him being a Houston native, going to Harvard for his graduate degree, and coming back to Houston to actually serve in the community, it's a dream for me, and I hope to follow in his footsteps one day.
Houston proud and hoping to be a mentor for other students.
I hope that my experience allows other students to know that anything is possible. I hope to inspire other students by allowing them to know that it's never too late or too early to pursue a dream or a goal.
We want to leave you with a smile tonight. It might seem like a story right out of Spaceballs, but you really can buy bottled air. Relocation website My Baggage is selling what they call authentic air from England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. It's a special gift for homesick residents who can't go home to the UK because of COVID travel restrictions, or for people who just missed out on a trip this year. The half-liter bottle costs about $33. It comes with a cork stopper so you can open it whenever you need a whiff of fresh air. The company also takes special requests from specific UK locations, and they sell limited edition bottles featuring air from places like the London Underground and a fish and chips shop. My Baggage says it was inspired after research found that the sense of smell was linked to emotional memories. Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and we do hope you have a wonderful Christmas.